I am going to max my Clash of Clans base by gemming the June update, which includes the new spell, troop levels, all of my walls, and the seasonal defense. Kind of. I will share my thoughts and give you advice as I upgrade everything. My first recommendation would be the Dark Spell Factory. Let's actually double check that I do have the 20% builder discount active and the research boost as well, because naturally I will be maxing out everything in the laboratory. I think the new spell, the Ice Block, though, will be incredibly powerful, and that's why I would recommend upgrading the Dark Spell Factory first. Let's use a Book of Building on that, just so we can instantly start using it. And over to the laboratory, that's also what I would upgrade first. The spell is unlocked at Town Hall 14, actually. However, the duration of the spell, 7 seconds, does not change as you upgrade it. It is only the incoming damage reduction that gets improved. So we should be able to actually get this, I was going to say straight away to max, but I only have 1 Book of Spells. Let's take a look here. 10 Book of Fighting, 14 Book of Building, 163 Book of Heroes. I wish I could have used that. There, I have a Book of Spells right there. What? Why is it? Did I not press the confirm button? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Reset. Take 2. Let's upgrade it to level 4. Oh my goodness, we're out of Dark Elixir already. We need 167,000, but actually I think we might be able to get that. Let's take a look in the Season Pass. Yes, we get to the 20,000 Dark Elixir. So we can get 30,000 from in here, 45,000 in my treasury. Takes us down to 92,000 needed. Can collect my Dark Elixir drills, use some raid medals, and then we can get a bunch of the Dark Elixir from the Dark Deal event. I want to overspend here. Let's double check there. We should be getting close. 23,000. Wait a second. Oh my goodness, we're 13,000 short. I thought with all of that, we would have had enough. Okay, well, I can come back to that by doing 1 or 2 legend attacks, but I don't want the golden elixir to go to waste. So let's move on to the other upgrades. The balloon, I would upgrade first, mainly because I love the rocket balloon as well, and naturally the super troop also gets that upgrade. Following this though, I would go with the druid, but since I'm waiting of Dark Elixir, let's just go ahead and upgrade the siege machine. It does just give me that little bit of flexibility as well, and then we'll come back to these Dark Elixir troops. Let's put some of my gold into walls, get us started. We'll maybe upgrade 5 of them, meaning we have 70 to upgrade later. Okay, let's actually upgrade 1 more. Then that just means we can do 2 legend attacks, get the Dark Elixir needed, and continue the upgrades. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, and I... my super troops. I don't have any super potions in here, right? I should have just boosted them and then used the rune. Okay, we got 1 super potion, but even if we use that, I have to spend 25,000 Dark Elixir on the other super troop, trying to be too efficient from the off. I should have just used the rune in the first place. Oh, wait a second. What am I even thinking? The Alchemist. Let's go. We can only convert resources once in the video, so this would be the only time. 77,000 Dark Elixir. Would that give us enough and enough to boost the 2 super troops? I think it would. There was a reason we did it. Okay, let's convert. Actually, let's convert the gold because I'm only using that for walls. Then let's actually go back to where we started. Maxing out the ice block. That would be my recommendation, and I will show you how to use it as I quickly do a legend attack. Oh, wait a second. Now we'd be wasting the loot because I want to use a rune. Let me show you. I guess I'll get rid of one of my invisibility spells and take the ice block. Then let's use the rune, and when I need to do an attack to top up my Dark Elixir, or even my Elixir, that's when I will show you how to use it. So, Rune of Dark Elixir. Let's finish off the laboratory first, and then we'll move across to the pet house because we do only have the Lava Hound and the Druid. Lava Hound, obviously great if you do fancy doing some Lava Loon attacks, but I personally use the Druid whenever I do any Fireball into Hero Dive attacks, hence why I like the Rocket Loons as well. So that is what I am going to upgrade first, and I think they're a bit more versatile. Look at that. We can actually upgrade the Lava Hound with that amount of Dark Elixir. So the lab is fully upgraded. 44,000 Dark Elixir. And remember, in order to upgrade the first level of Frosty, it was 160,000. So there's no way that we can gain that amount. Therefore, let's use Rune of Dark Elixir. Let's see how many levels of Frosty we get out of that. And this is good as well because you can see I have the Unicorn on the Queen. That was because it got 5 extra levels in the last update, but I always used to like using Frosty on the Queen as well. So I will go back to using Frosty now. Let's actually Select that with the queen. And how much dark elixir do we have? Okay, so again, we're not going to be able to get that amount of dark elixir from the attacks because in Legends League, I am limited to 8 attacks. They have said they're looking to extend it to have loot attacks as well, but who knows when that will come. Here we go then. Frosty to level 13. We can actually upgrade to level 14, use the Book of Heroes, and again, now we don't have any Dark Elixir. The thing is, I could use the Hammer of Heroes, but I'm actually going to be using some of these CWL medals for the walls at the end. So I think I'll just hold on to that because this is the last bit of Dark Elixir I need. Well, actually, I do need some of it for the seasonal defense, but obviously I will move on to upgrading that at the end. Let's get the final level of Frosty upgraded though, fully maxed in the pet house. Now we just have the walls and the seasonal defense. How effective can we do the walls? So let's go. Looking at the wall rings, I actually have enough wall rings to... Don't have enough wall rings. Okay, so I can upgrade 17 walls straight away using my 232 wall rings. Let's do it. Boom! Okay, that means we have 40 walls left to upgrade. So let's begin with the elixir, I guess. Why don't we use this little wall tool? Okay, so I can upgrade 2 of them with my elixir, 1 of them with my gold, like so. Claim this from the treasury. That should actually allow me to upgrade 2 pieces of wall with the... Oh, we're just short on the golden elixir. You know what? Let's just do a couple of legend attacks, get some more upgrades, and I'll get you a nice example of the ice block. Okay, Monolith is on my Royal Champion, so let's use the Ice Block. That's going to freeze everything in the middle. And now the Healing Tome from the Grand Warden can just heal everything back up. Because I also have the Rage Gem active. So this can essentially just replace the Eternal Tome in the center. And there you go. My Royal Champion is safe, and all of my tank troops are back up to full health. But yeah, that's one great use case of the Ice Block, just to replace the Eternal Tome. That should now be enough loot to get this perfectly lined up. So we need 3.5 million golds to get 3 walls upgraded. But I do have my treasury. And also we have some gold and elixir in the gold pass. After claiming... Oh my goodness, that shoots me right over the top. We shouldn't have actually collected it out of the gold pass. We can fix this though, because I could use raid medals to collect some gold and elixir from here. Then in the CWL shop, I can get some gold and elixir from here. And it should work out fairly flawlessly by getting 6 each of these. There we go. Then we can upgrade. Perfect. 3 with gold and 3 with elixir. Beautiful. All of that just to save a tiny little bit when it comes to using the Rune of Gold and Elixir. But I'll take it. 24 more walls to go, and then we have the crafting station. I do like that I can just select the walls now. So we can do 4 walls out of each of the runes. Then we have 2.4 million left over again. But even though we're trying to utilize the golden elixir from there, you do get twice the value when it comes to wall rings than just getting resources from the League shop. But the 20% discount on the walls doesn't apply to wall rings. Gosh. So I really think trying to get a couple of these and not waste as much when it comes to the runes is the better play. Now, actually, we should have some wall rings in the gold pass. Let's get those collected. And that should at least allow me to upgrade, 1 piece of wall. We have 7 wall rings there, but also we can get wall rings with raid medals, right? I haven't done that in a long time. Okay, let's get those. That gives me 2 extra wall rings. If I can hold on to as many runes as possible for future updates, then I will for sure do that. Okay, the Dark Deal event also has wall rings. Oh, this is interesting. Let's claim everything from in here. This was all left over from when I gemmed the Dark Crown to maximum level. And I did say in that video that it would become handy. So let's get all of the wall rings. Okay, storage full. This should get our walls to max, I'm hoping. 9 walls remaining. Will it be enough? If not, it's going to be super close. We can get 60 more wall rings. 7 left. 6 walls left. Let's go. 5, 4. Oh, no. I don't think it is going to be enough. Let's get these. Wait a sec. Did that just say I don't have enough Mischief medals? Oh, my. I had like 4,000. I just assumed I had enough to get them all. Wow. Okay, so we've got 7 wall rings and we need 24 in total. So let's just get these. 1 upgrade, 2 upgrades, and here we go. 1 more wall ring. Actually, I'm going to get some more so that I can overstack them with magic item purchases. Will give us the final piece of wall. That gets my base fully maxed other than the crafting station. So let's get that built. Let's actually place it. Can I place it anywhere on this layout? Beautiful. So defense overview. Now this is the thing. You have to choose which defense you want to upgrade. But you can notice 109 days and then these defenses are gone. They reset and you get 3 new defenses. And I believe that the Crusher Mortar is going to be the most powerful when it comes to defending ground attacks, which is what we get hit the most with in Legends League and in Clan Wars. So that's what I'm going to focus on first. And I actually learned this from Itsu in his video. I had just assumed to go straight for the damage, but he makes a really interesting point that you should actually upgrade the hit points to the point where it can't be taken out with a giant arrow from the Archer Queen. Even though you're trying to defend ground attacks, sometimes people will use that to trigger invisibility spell towers or wipe out air defense. They could also use it to wipe out your Crusher Mortar. By getting it to level 5, they cannot. Now, I will need both gold and elixir to upgrade the damage-based items. So let me use a rune of each of those. 1 rune of gold, 1 rune of elixir. And now we can... Oh, move back to the crafted defense. It wants to tell me, upgrade this defense. But let's go with the damage output first. I'm actually going to go with some of the area damage just to get that leveled up a little bit whilst it's cheaper. So you're kind of getting the area damage upgraded and then you can shift to the damage itself. And you can just purely get the output to be as high as possible because that's what you're after. The hit points you can worry about afterwards. The splash damage, whilst it is good, it's not as good as the damage itself. So we're out of elixir, so we do have to come out into here, but look at this. We should be able to use one of the CWL medals. And yes, that perfectly gets us 1 more level. Now, I am using gems to finish these off because the upgrades are only a couple of days. And again, I can overstack my magic items for when actual updates come out. And there wasn't a lot of longer upgrades in this video, but sometimes there is a lot to upgrade. So that's why I want to hold on to as many Book of Building as I can. And I will purely just use the gems because 400 gems for a Book of Building is really not worth it. This is the final upgrade, though, of the damage. So the Crusher Mortar goes up to 240, but it bounces 3 times in a line. So it will target your initial tank troops, such as Root Riders, but it could damage your Valkyries and even the Grand Warden behind. Now, we need 3.2 million for this one. So if we were to grab one of these, I think we did still have 1 million gold here in the gold pass. Yes, we do. And that will work out beautifully to get this one upgraded. Then we will use a rune, and I am going to have to use a rune of dark elixir for the other level as well. So let's get the gold rune used and the dark elixir one. But again, I will focus on the damage, get that maxed out before we worry about the hit points. Now, because these are temporary defenses, they will reset after the 3 months. I am going to max one of them, and that will mean that my base strength-wise is maxed. When it comes to superchargers, yes, they go away as well, and I gem those, but you can reap the benefit of all of them. When it comes to the seasonal defenses, I have given feedback to the team that I think this is the maximum they should go when it comes to temporary upgrades, because I understand the benefit of them in terms of catch-up mechanics, giving max level players something to do, but it's very disheartening as well, especially when you can't utilize them all. And I do think there needs to be some level of cosmetic added, which over time we could obtain and even improve it based on the amount of seasonal defenses or superchargers that we upgrade. But since the level is an addition of all of the modules, this final module to level 10 gets us to the maxed Crusher Mortar of level 30. When it comes to the Flame Spinner and the Hook Tower, I would do the same thing, upgrading the hit points to the Giant Arrow threshold and then going for the damage. I will leave these two upgrading in the background because I do have a fully maxed base when it comes to strength since I can only use one of these. I debated gemming both of these as well, because being a content creator, if something becomes meta, then being able to shift to that in order to showcase content is important. If you would find value in me gemming all of these seasonal defenses so that you could see these stats, etc., then that is something I will consider for future crafting phases. But for this one, I just went with one that I will activate, but I do hope they improve this feature to make it more accessible for everyone, and I'll explain more on my second channel. If you do want to see the Dark Crown equipment, I gemmed that to maxed for Clan Wars. I have that video linked on your screen. Enjoy the rest of your day.